Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of the Trap Shake Memoirs. Today, let me begin with again. Obviously, this podcast is sponsored by Human Appeal. Make sure that you follow Human Appeal on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I say it all the time. Make sure to keep up to date with our deployments, our challenges that we're doing. Deployment challenges, and also the fundraisers that we're going to be starting again, I think at the beginning of December, so December the 1st, and then going on into the new year, we've got a lot of the plans and what we want to execute throughout the year. So alhamdulillah, Allah's making that easy for us. See, the thing is, I have an episode I want to talk about, but then I have an episode that I want to currently going on in my life right now. So I think what I'll start with this one, and then I'll record another one today as well. So again, maybe you might get a double whammy, one the day after the other. But yeah, I think the first episode today is an episode about, I saw someone, a nice guy that I know, he's like a really good guy. And he posted something on his social media today, and bear in mind, this guy's he is a good guy. Like, when you meet those people that when you're around them, it's like such a breath of fresh air when you're around them, because it's like, oh, there's not that many nice people out in the world, or so it feels. So when you do come into contact with one, you really do hold on to that purity, or the sincerity or genuineness, whatever you want to call it. And he posted something today, and obviously I don't know what his relationship status is or whatever, but he posted the famous quote. He was like, "Oh, nice guys finish last, or good guys finish last." And I don't know, like, it when he posted it, it just broke my heart, because I was like, oh, I don't want him to be tainted by this world. Oh, like, something's happened and now his outlook on, like, like when people, because obviously, like, everyone's done it, like everyone's villain origin story, like when you're going through life and something bad happens, whether it be vice versa, you could again, and it takes many different comes in many different forms. Like, I know people that were good kids in school, something happened outside of school, and now they're the biggest roadman on God's earth. So but it's because something changed, and when that thing or event taking place, their like perspective or their mindset changed, and then that obviously became their character. Again, it almost broke my heart, because this guy's a good guy, he's a nice guy, and it's like, I didn't want that. Maybe it was a girl, I'm not sure, I haven't asked him. But I was like, I didn't want that to affect his like pure heart, and it to become tainted like everything else is in society today. And it just made me think of the thing of, like, because even though he said it, a part of me does agree with it. Used to agree with it. I've changed my mindset on that statement now. But the whole, oh, good guys finish, like, because I used to believe that. I used to believe, like, when I was a lot more harsher, and because I do have a mean streak within me, and I'm talking about like just in a lot of different senses, I'm talking about, to be honest. But whenever I, like, let's say business or like money or whatever, and like when you're nice, sometimes it's like people can sometimes take the piss or whatever, but when you like assert your dominance or whatever, it's like, oh, people start to act right. And then I used to always think that, because I was like, oh, I don't want to be a person that has to be aggressive or has to be act in a certain way just for people to like respect you, type of thing. And I was always like, why don't people just respect nice people or good people? Well, obviously that's not the world we live in. However, that's how I used to think. I've changed my sentiments to, and my whole outlook on the thing as well, the whole nice guys finish last. So instead of like just zooming in on the statement, nice guys finish last, we have to zoom out of and look at the thing as a whole. And I think that's one thing in our religion always encourages us to do, and something we almost can't do at the same time. Like only Allah has the power, the hindsight to look at everything and like just have a, you know, almost like a bird's eye view of the situation. Because then all situations make sense when you can look at it from the bird's eye view. If you can see, oh, this happened, but then 5 years later down the line, it was for that thing to happen, you'd understand it in its context. But in regards to the nice guys finish last, I can almost kind of see maybe not the full picture, but at least zoom out a little bit. So my thing that I typed in my notes was, I was like, people say nice guys finish last, but I was like, but what? No, was it? Hold on, let me get it up. Actually, I don't know why I'm just struggling. Why, like, I didn't write it down. But yeah, I said, so I said, nice guys finish last, but what race are you in, and what are you racing towards? Because someone that doesn't have, and I'm speaking, so in this context, I'm speaking in regards of relationships, because that's what usually people are referring to. And also, again, you can almost liken it into business, but yeah, actually you can liken it with all relationships, business relationships, normal relationships, or whatever. So, because if they say good guys finish last, but what race are you in, and who are you racing after? Because if someone says, oh, good guys finish last, but if you was to win the metaphorical race, it was to win this girl. But it's like, but why would you want to win someone that doesn't respect someone who's a nice guy or a good guy? It doesn't really make any sense in my mind anyway. So for me, it was like, and then or even like with friends, like sometimes I know in like friendship groups, sometimes the nice guy can kind of be taken for granted. But then it makes me ask the question, what friends do you have around you? You have friends that encourage you to be like an arsehole or whatever, to like almost stand your ground or whatever, and it just never made sense. And the reason why I'm saying it is because of also, obviously, like the reality. As you guys know, I'm going through a seerah at the moment, the seerah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it just makes me feel like because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a nice guy, he was a good guy. So, and sometimes you could say that nice guy, good guy was tried to be manipulated. But if you ever manipulate someone who has a good heart, you're the only one that's losing out. The person that has a good heart and maintains a clean heart in a dirty, ugly society, he is the winner. You are the loser if you see that and you look at it as a potential, like, oh, I can get one over on this guy, or maybe I can get something from this person. You're the loser in that scenario, because yes, you might get whatever it is, whether it be money or validation or whatever, or like whatever it is. But it's like, again, in hindsight, when you look at the thing as a holistic thing, you probably lost a good friend, or you probably lost a good person in your life, someone that could have benefited you in so many other ways down the line. But because we've been trained by society to, like, again, everything, like, to look for opportunities and stuff and be opportunists rather than just being good people, I feel like that's where we kind of break down as human beings. But yeah, like, again, it broke my heart when I saw his post, because I just didn't want him to turn out like that. I didn't want him to be a person that now, again, and then I did message him in terms of, like, me telling him how much I respected him for being a nice person, and hopefully that was enough. But yeah, but like, I just don't get it. I mean, no, I do get it. I understand. It's like also, and I'm getting onto this community a lot, but I'm not hating on it. It's just I can see the kind of pitfalls that it has in someone, especially Muslim men. So yeah, I mean, you could argue this message is for Muslim men, we strive to be good guys. We strive to be nice guys. And when they say good guys finish last, you have to remember, in Islam and as Muslims, we are not in the same race as people in this dunya. We have a different end goal. We have a different lens of the race, if you want to say that. We're not trying to go for the same things. So why are we listening to people's rules and how to play the game from people that aren't even playing the same game as us? We're here to be good people. We're here to have good character. We're not here to be opportunists and try and get one over this person or one over that person. The game's different. So sometimes, they say, oh, nice guys finish last. Nice guys finish last when we're talking about these girls out here that are like the girls in Miami, like when they're like, the girls in strip clubs and blah, 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 and they're trying to get a celebrity husband and blah, blah, blah. We don't even want those women. So why are we trying to be like the men that those women want? We don't want those women. So why are we trying to be like the men that those women want? We want again, everyone say again, and maybe it begs the question. You have to ask yourself, what is the type of woman I want? Do I want a good woman, a pious one, a modest wife? And I think they even says it in a hadith when it's like, oh, the good women are for the good guys. I'm paraphrasing, it doesn't say it like this, but the good women are for the good guys and the bad women are for the bad guys. It's not bad like, like good and evil. It just means like how you are. So for me, if I want a pious, modest wife, I must have a level of piety and modesty within myself, because naturally we attract what we are. We don't attract what we say we want. We attract what we are. That is something I believe in very heavily as well. If you're attracting these broken, bad people or whatever in your life, maybe it's time to look in the mirror and analyze your situation. Maybe I'm not as good as I say I am. And I've done it with myself as well. Like sometimes I see the type of women I attract or whatever in different ways and in different stages of my life. And then I had to look at myself as who was I in those stages in my life. And again, like I said, if you want a good wife, a modest wife, a pious wife and all this, etc., like become the man that those women want. And like I said, again, nice guys don't finish last. Nice guys finish first and again, when I say nice guys as well, this is another thing. There's a difference between someone who's weak and someone who's like strong. So for example, when people say nice guys finish last, nice guys don't finish last. Weak men finish last. If you're weak, that's a whole different argument, because a woman does not want a weak man. She wants a man to be strong. And again, strength in whatever type of way we're measuring it, because you can have mental strength, emotional strength, all these things. But if you're a man that has all these different strengths, if you're a good guy or a nice guy, women will still be attracted to that because it's still strength. So you don't have to worry so much about, if I'm too nice or if I'm a good guy, like I won't get, like it will somehow lower my status in society. It's like, well then stop kind of maybe judging yourself based on society's lens, and maybe you take a look at society and say, do I even want to rank within this ugly system? Do you know what I mean? It's like if you're playing like a really bad game, like I don't know, like Squid Games or whatever. Like if you win, did you really win? Do you know what I mean? Like obviously Squid Game's a different scenario, but like obviously like let's look at Squid Game. Squid Game, the winner of it is the winner of Squid Games. Obviously wins all that money, but like look at what the person you had to be and the person you had to become in order to get that money. Do you want to be that person again? And it's an honest question for yourself, because a lot of people in this world, they say, yeah, I do. In order for in the pursuit for money, fame, strength, and power, and all this, I will step over people. I will kill people. I will deceive people. I will do all of these things in order to get to the top. That's fine. That's your decision. That's your prerogative. Again, as Muslims, we don't, again, we're not playing in the same game. So when we look at it, oh, will we step over someone and will we use someone and abuse someone in order to get to the top? The answer should be no, because we're not playing the same game. We don't value the same things. Again, you value fame, money, power, blah, blah. And again, nothing's wrong with those things in and of themselves. If you achieve them in a modest way, let's say, or in a halal way. What it is we base things on character. And I say that because obviously what the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says when he says, I have came down for no other reason than to perfect good character. That is the goal in this world, to know Allah, to worship Allah and everything. But that all in turn, like once you give into that, it will then reflect and you'll become a good person because of the teachings and practices you are following. But yeah, so that was just my thought for today. But yeah, that was just what I was going through, and I just want to encourage people, especially the Muslims. 'Cause I know a lot of Muslims follow me on Instagram, etc. It's like, and again, and to myself as well. Sometimes I have to tell myself, because I've been caught up in that as well. Like sometimes you don't get your way in a certain situation, and then I start thinking to myself, oh, if I acted like this or if I moved like this, I would have got it. And that's not the way. That's not the way of a true believing Muslim man or a Muslim woman. Again, the same applies for females, but just kind of flip the reverse on the other side. But yeah, so alhamdulillah, I'm glad I got that thought out, because again, when I saw the post, it really just broke my heart when I saw it. I was like, no, not you as well. You're a good guy. But yeah. But yeah, no, anyway, I hope you enjoyed. How long was this one? Was this another long episode? 17 minutes? Okay, cool, pretty long. But yeah, subhanAllah. But alhamdulillah, I'm glad you lot are enjoying. There's a lot of messages I've been getting recently from you guys in terms of the podcast and the reflections that I've been posting on TikTok and Instagram. And alhamdulillah, they've all been really good and encouraging as well. So for me, I'm just like, I need to keep what I'm doing here is good, because sometimes I doubt myself, because I'm like, oh, is it benefiting people the way I want it to? And it's like I said, if it's benefiting 1, 2, 3 people, I said that's good. Again, serving the people in whatever way I can, and this is the best way I know how to at the moment. So subhanallah. And again, with Human Appeal, when we get the fundraisers going back up, and when we get the deployments going and going out there and helping people, and when the challenges as well that we can all do, and also raise money for, like, again, it just all comes full circle, and I'm just so excited. But yeah, I'll see you on the next episode. Assalamu alaikum.